10. We're good.
She doesn't know that we're recording right now. So hi, how is everybody?
She does that to me every time.
Hey,
Oh,
how you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing great.
My name is Molly.
I'm Kathy.
This is Kathy. Together we're Linen and Scraps. So good to see y'all again. I'm going to check and make sure I hit start. Yes, I did.
That's a good thing.
Last time, I don't know if we told
It's
you.
exhausting when you don't hit the start button. Because y'all know what happens.
We did it many times. But anyway, Kathy, what do you have new today? What are we going to share with everybody? I hope y'all are having a great weekend.
Well, I don't have any finishes.
Okay.
But like I said the last time, this YouTube stuff, Flosstube stuff's kind of got me into trouble because I used to have one project.
She was monogamous.
One project. And all of a sudden, it just kind of blossomed in my little stitching chair. I have these things now that. But truthfully, I have taken a little bit of a break and I've made some more blocks for those of you that are on my Instagram, which is Diary of a Sampler Lover. I have made every season.
And there's
every single season. And we'll talk about the blocks a little bit later, but they turned out really cute. And like I said, you've got a 2x2 inch square to do all the decorating in the world that you want. And to see some of the creative stuff is kind of fun. So we'll talk about the blocks a little bit. So I don't have any finishes, but I do have, I have 2 new whips and one that I'm been working on, and I guess I can start with those.
If you want to start with those, that's wonderful. Now, let me look at the picture. Make sure
I have my Lady in Thread, which is this one here, which I love.
I love that pattern.
And as you all saw on one of our floss tubes, I have a frame for it already, and I'm getting kind of close to getting that doggone pumpkin face done. So, and I think he's turned out really cute.
He is really cute.
Kind of amazing how much counting is on this thing. And I keep thinking once I get to the outside of that pumpkin, things should go a little bit quicker. But I plugged away on it and kind of excited to.
And Kathy, I'm going to tease you. You know, she's showing us this gorgeous thing, but you know that's out of print, right?
It's out of print. But somebody just got it.
Somebody just found it. So
there's
a wheel.
Yeah, using the called for colors, except for I did change the oranges, the 2 oranges that are in the pumpkin. As it stands right now, I'm probably going to be leaving everything else the same, but just those 2 I did change. But it's because I haven't veered off of the pumpkin face.
Are those a mixture of brands of thread or
all DMC?
Those are not all DMC. I swear I saw.
Oh,
there's an.
I lied. God, I lied again. I would be a little put. So I did color and cotton kumquat.
Oh, how pretty!
And then also, no, this one was the DMC.
No,
though.
It was this overdyed.
Yeah, kumquat.
Yeah,
I added that one. That's the inside of the pumpkin. Not the inside. It's the highlight, the lighter orange of the pumpkin.
Darling.
Yeah. So I love that one. I'm so glad to be able to get and look at my floss drops that I made Molly print for me, and she did more, and she'll tell you that I stuck her to the wall until I got more, and it was nasty to her.
That's more true words have never been spoken. But anyway, so we got those done, and that's beautiful. And that was on Murky.
On Murky, 36 count Murky.
Just beautiful.
But somebody did find it on the secondary market, so if you are looking for it, they're out there.
You never know.
Just got to be patient.
Okay.
And then I have 2 new whips.
Okay.
One of them, I'm going to creep this in here, because you know I'm still looking for this doggone unicorn. Traditional Needlework in Miniature by Anna Lee Ferguson.
She's asking everybody to help her find that book.
I need help.
It's not a whip, it's a book she's looking
all
for.
Of a sudden, this book has gone from like $75, which I probably would have paid that had I known, to $180 something on Amazon. I can't give you both arms and both legs. I need my arms to stitch. But if you can help me find this book at a reasonable price, I'm always open to that. So, and we have contacted, me and another gal, Vicki Noel, have contacted all the big locations, eBay, Amazon, A-Books,
Biblio,
all of that. Either they completely don't have them or they're, like I said, no. And because we're looking for it too.
Oh, sure.
But Vicki did find her book at a very, very reasonable price, pristine condition, and from the designer, the author of the book herself. However, when we spoke to the author, she was so kind to send us each a graph, her graph, from the book, and this is a miniature from that book, and it says, "Let virtue be a guide to thee." This is my first attempt on 5660 count, which is teeny, 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 tiny. And I'll be honest, I didn't think I could do it. I'm sitting there in this chair, and it's like, can I do that? Can you guys see how teeny, tiny that is? It's pretty doggone small.
It is so pretty, Kathy. It's like.
So I'm gonna finish this because I absolutely love it. This is considered a miniature sampler. But now, and I hope everybody that is sitting there thinking they can't do that, really what it comes down to, I'm not a spring chicken by any sense of the word, but I will tell you that good lamp and good magnifying glasses will definitely help you achieve that.
That is just amazingly gorgeous, the stitches.
So, and now that I'm stitching this, it's like, God, I really would like to find that book. I just cannot do a $200 deal.
Can y'all see? I hope I have the light. There you go. Look at the little bitty puppies at the bottom.
Yeah.
And the little bitty angels at the top. That's remarkable. They're just darn.
And I want to thank Jean Lee at the Attic, who really encourages people to try the 5660 count.
That's when you said that earlier about I can't do 56. I'm gonna call Jean.
You call Jean. And I will tell you, it's a little intimidating. After all the years I've been stitching on it, I didn't know that I could do it either. And at the end of the day, it's not as bad as what you think. And I'm doing a full cross on it. Some people tend to do a continental or a 10 stitch, and I'm actually just doing the full cross on this just because that's what I do. I like to do. Now the fill-in parts in the sky, the land, and then the couple down there, that I'm doing a continental on.
What is a continental stitch?
It's a needlepoint stitch that you go from, for me, I go from bottom left to top right, come down the back, come up the bottom left, top right. Your backs always look like it's on a diagonal.
Okay.
The tent stitch is you go up, down, over, up. Your back stitches, in the back, it's straight up and down.
Okay.
So there's probably more usage of thread in a continental stitch.
Okay.
The only thing I found when I did a continental stitch back in the day was if you don't have your, more so used in needlepoint or petty point, if you don't have your foundation or your canvas mounted, you will go cockeyed because of the continental stitch pulling it in one direction.
Okay.
So
hope that made sense
continental.
to someone.
So I have to thank Vicki Noel because she set me up with all the threads for this sampler, and then of course the author of the book was the gal that sent the pattern out to the 2 or 3 of us that were looking.
So Kathy, those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my last one, or do you want to stick a couple in there? Take turns.
It's up to you. Do you have more than these?
No, this is it.
Oh my God, Kathy packed light today. Instead of bringing some of her treasures.
Yeah, so
she
why don't
carried
you
these
take it
beautiful
first?
Oh, well, gosh, ladies, I hope I don't. Okay, anyway, the first one I have is a FO, I'm going to call it. It's a fully finished, but it's not FFO kind of thing. And it was a chart from Teresa Kogert that was Be Thankful. And I love it like this. It was browns and oranges and grays. Browns, oranges, and grays. Well, you know me and my blues. I got to stick them in there if I can. And when you're ready. Okay, so what I did was I finished him, but I added where it was browns. I've got blues and the gray I did lighter and all that stuff. And I just love how it came out. And y'all are not able to see it because it doesn't really show. But that Be Thankful is in a Threadworks thread that is shades of, Kathy, can you see it?
It's got green, a little bit of
and
purple.
navies and purples and all.
Yeah.
So it's showing up black on here, which the pattern actually called for, I think, 310. But
it's pretty.
It shows up so pretty. I just love my little fella.
It has some nice color
and
to it.
I like the addition of blue instead of just the browns. Yeah. So that was my FO. I have to learn the terms. FO. Okay, now I want to show you my whips.
Yeah.
Kathy teased me. How many whips do you have?
I asked her first thing, how many whips you got there going?
I don't even know. I don't. Who cares?
You can count along with me.
Who cares? But anyway, we got it. So this pattern right here, I know a lot of y'all have seen this one, but oh, I just love it. It's from Plum Street Samplers. It's the Gather In, and I hope I'm close enough. I love it, love it, love it. Now, so far what I've got stitched, and I started to text Kathy this morning. I've been combing floss today.
It's really cute.
These are the
That's really cute.
These are the colors of flosses. You can see how many are in that one little pattern.
Wow.
That's a lot of flosses.
Is that all? Is that oh, it's over dyed?
It's a mixture of everything. And this is as far as I've gotten. And I'm dying to get to more color.
Yeah.
And all, but I'm just working my way across there.
What are you stitching that on? It looks smaller.
It is an 18 count.
Nice.
Says the woman who's doing 5660.
Nice.
It's an 18 count, which I think is precious.
Nice.
But it's milk and honey, and I got to tell you, who is milk and honey by? And Fiber on a Whim. That's a pretty piece of material. Mm-hmm. So that's an 18 count. So that's as far as I've gotten on him, but I'm anxious.
Is it soft?
Very.
Yeah.
Very, very soft.
Oh yeah, that is soft.
Mm-hmm. So I like
Somebody else was talking about the softness of the linens, how it becomes more
once
soft.
You dye them and things like that, they become softer.
Yeah.
Okay, I had another fall one I thought started, but I'm going to go to Halloween now.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
I love Halloween.
Okay, now my first one I'm going to show you is because it's the top of the pile, but it's not very far along. I'm sorry I keep turning around to show you these things. But it's this pattern right here. I just love that. My father-in-law was actually a pilot trainer in World War II, you know, back in the day, and all that stuff, trained some of the big guys. But anyway, so this is Aviation Institute. I just thought that was precious. And if you can see the fabric they've chosen, I forgot what it was called, but it's a beautiful,
that's pretty,
you know, oatmealish tea dye looking thing. But if y'all remember, I had dyed some material and showed you the last time that had those kind of colors, but with some blues, and it's connected probably, some blues and greens in there and all. So as far as I've gotten on my stitching, let me see if I can discombobulate all this. Hold on. See that? I've just got the stars in.
That's very pretty.
I think it's going to be real pretty.
It's gonna look nice on that.
Real pretty.
Yeah.
And my thread choices here don't look good, but the only reason I only had the stars in is because I had to order the rest of the thread, and they came in today. So expect some progress.
She's a happy camper.
I'm a happy, happy camper because now I can get going on this thing.
That's going to look really nice on that.
I think I'm going to like it on my little hand-dyed.
What are you going to do with that one? Are you going to pillow it or
no?
It's going to
hang on the wall. I'm hoping, you know, God willing, and the creek don't rise, to get enough little things framed in some pretty little, you know, over-dyed frames. You know, like some orange with rush sticks or patina-looking frames and all that to do a little Halloween-y section.
Yeah.
Okay, this next pattern, I love this pattern. However, if you had come to my house the other night when I was stitching it, you'd have heard some words that Mama would have
that's what that
whipped
was.
me for. Yeah, she heard them through the wall across the yard. I tell you,
Even Ralph heard words.
I was cursing like
what you got?
And this is what it is. But I love doing it. It's Trick or Treat by Cottage Garden. And look at all those little motifs. They've stitched it as one piece, which is nice. But I was wanting to do little pillows. You know, just cute little pillows. So there again, they called for a certain fabric. If you can see, it's kind of a golden cast to that fabric and all.
There's a gold tone.
But once again, here's my flosses. Aren't they pretty? And look, I just used scrapbook paper. If anybody remember stamping up old scrapbook paper, I used that, cut myself some flosses.
That's really, those are cute.
Aren't they, darling?
Yeah.
And this is the little fella, as far as I've gotten. But this is another one of those pieces, Kathy, that I dyed.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Was that like the murky that we tried to
yeah. Okay. No, this was it's the darker version of that blue and green.
Okay.
But I just thought it looked midnight sky-y and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to love how he's coming out. Look at his eyes. Don't you love that? But where the cursing is I was trying to make these things perfectly symmetrical, but they're not on the pattern. So I was trying to override the pattern in my mind.
I wouldn't have thought they would have been symmetrical
they're close, but it was like 1 or 2 stitches different. So finally I just said, I'm going to finish this corner and keep going. So once I did all this, and I swear I counted right, I am 3 stitches from the edge or 4 stitches from the edge, and they're only 2 stitches from the edge. So somehow my border's going to be bigger, or my cat scooched over or something. I'll figure it out when I get there. Cute. But anyway, the moral to the story is that little spider web was fighting back.
It's really cute. So now are you going to do it all in one piece, or are you going to do little
No,
pillows?
ma'am. What I'm in my mind's eye, I'm going to do the cat, because of course I'm a cat lady. I love the bat. If you could see him down in the middle of the bottom, right here.
Okay.
That bat.
You're a bat lady?
baddie, that's for sure. And then the ravens on the pumpkin.
Okay.
I love those, and I love the owl. See the little owl in the corner. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do at least those 4 and have little pillows. But I'm not going to
do the whole thing and frame the whole thing.
And I can't tell you if the others are going to have spider webs around them, but they're they're going to. I'll stick with it. Okay.
Are you all keeping count of Molly's whips here?
No, I don't even know about it. Okay, so I don't want to know about it. Okay, the next one. I love this. I think it's from last year. I don't know, but it was from Priscilla and what's it called? Stitching with the Housewives.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I ever remember that? I love this little pattern. It's just cute as it could be. Look at all the flosses. That's some pretty colors, little bright, cheery little colors.
Oh, you cruised on that.
I'm coming along. So
look at the little witch toes.
I know.
They're really cute.
Anyway, so I think that's going to be dark. And
like.
it's going to be, it's going to be a nice little size when it's finished. Isn't that cheery?
It's very sweet.
I like it. So from the dark and, misty, moonlighty things.
Isn't it amazing how these almost look pastel?
They do almost look pastel.
But on that black,
when you see these colors, you're like, really? Really? But they look perfect on the black.
Yeah.
And I've heard several people make comments about stitching on black. And I think it's one of my favorites. I love it.
You like to work on it?
And
do you do anything special?
No, I don't put it on top of anything like. Now I have a good little light over me while I'm stitching.
Yeah.
But because this is 14 count Aida, and I got it from the fat quarter shop, but it's black Aida and it's stiff. You can, if you almost can just drag your needle, find the hole, drag it.
Oh, yeah.
You can almost feel it.
Stitch blind.
Yeah. So I like it. I really do like the black. Okay.
I like that one too.
Kathy.
Yes, ma'am.
That might be all my official whips. Hold on. Let me look. I think that's all my whips right now.
Oh.
Now, you have one more?
I do.
I have fast and sweet tonight. Huh?
I know. You'll be able to watch this thing.
I have haul
tonight.
So, and I have not chart parade, but chart parade. The parade. So,
all is good.
All is good. But do you want to show your other one?
I do. Y'all saw that I showed my Sarah Plummer from the Wishing Thorn last time when we videotaped or whatever we call it. And Birgit got a hold of me and she kind of propositioned me, if you will. I was so honored to stitch a model sampler for her, which I have done before for a couple other designers. But this one, she's actually stitching it too, but she is stitching it in a different thread. This is not available yet, and it will be available at some point soon. But this is Jane Parson, 1841. And
that is so sweet.
Isn't it pretty?
Sweet. It's just sweet.
It's just so pretty. The girl was 18 years old when she stitched this. She died. She was 85 years old when she died. And actually, Birgit found this sampler about 2 hours away from her in a shop. So she kind of just humbled upon it. It's kind of. But the neat thing with this is I am stitching this in the colors and threads that are very similar to what the original was done in. I'm stitching in all wools. And I love the texture of the wool. And
the colors are beautiful.
Yeah, the colors are pretty. And here, I told Birgit, here's the bite that I've got out of it. And she is going to kind of stitch along with me, if you will, on hers, because she's going to be using different threads than the wool that I'm using. And off the top of my head, I don't know exactly what thread she is going to be using. She's got it charted for a silk. She's got it charted for DMC. She's got it charted for something else.
That's wonderful.
But I love, can you see the teal? There's a little teal blue in that gold, underneath that gold. But what's really cool about it is how the wool stands up. You can almost see, it looks like, it reminds me of Petit Four cakes that have the pretty floral icing on it. So I think this will be really pretty. The release is yet to come. And like I said, the
colors are so pretty.
And
I'm not a pink person.
Yeah,
but really pretty.
I think that dark brown settles it down. I think it calms it down. And
pink and brown are just
pretty anyway. And then that green thread with the rest of the colors. That
I see the teal. I was having trouble seeing the teal.
It's in there. There it is.
Yeah. if you can see that. Let me see.
But Jane, I
At
just
the
think is,
bottom.
I said to her, I said, I will bet you money that Jane is going to be one of your best sellers. It's just pretty.
Was this from these pictures on the back?
Yeah.
Are they from the original?
That's from the original.
Look at the fabric that poor
Yeah.
young lady was using.
And I like the more primitive look anyway when it comes to needlework. So for me to stitch in wool and have a fabric that's kind of like an off the wall,
It's
buy wherever you can fabric, and just go by color, touch it.
no. I'm saying I wish they could. I wish
Oh,
I
I
could
wish-
just touch
Because
it.
that,
I wish I could touch it.
it's just amazing how that stands
The
up.
fabric is beautiful.
Yeah, the fabric is really, really pretty too.
So did she send you the fabric?
She sent me the fabric
Oh
and,
God. Keep going. Oh, okay.
and the wools and the
Great choice on
pattern.
fabric.
And
Now, does she have the suggestion of the fabric in the pattern as well?
yeah, she'll.
Okay.
If I think so. I'd have to go back and read it again. To be honest, I
'Cause
just
that
wanted to
fabric is
get it
just
started.
yummy.
And I have some other good news is that do you remember the Merry Christmas that I showed? And I'm like, I have no idea who this is by. Well, then I felt kind of bad because then I do know the designer of the.
She actually knows her.
But back in the day when I had 3 kids under the age of 2 in diapers, I barely got stitching done. I didn't care what I did with my pattern or what it looked like or who I gave it to. It's Dutch Treat.
And it's still available on some sites.
Claudia is the designer of Dutch Treat Designs. It is available, and I want to tell you that if you go to her site, Dutch Treat Designs, she has phenomenal model samplers. And for all of you looking to stitch a really cool patriotic one, she's got a really nice patriotic model sampler that she has designed. She said, when we were talking, she said, yeah, a lot of people don't know that I have these out here. And so I said, I will help you with that. So hopefully if you get a chance, go to her site. She's very big into Bristol samplers right now, which I wanted to share that within the next week or 2, I'll have some more, another model sampler that I'll be starting. And
are you doing sampler September? Or
I
you do
don't
samplers
know.
all the
I
time?
do
You do
samplers
sampler year
24/7, yeah.
24/7.
But for all of you that are in love with the Bristol samplers, because of their history and the fact of the goodness that was done out of an orphanage and the gentleman that took these girls in to get them ready for life beyond the orphanage. But this sampler that I will be working on, you know, Bristol's, we all know, seem to be red. And rows and rows and rows of alphabets. This one is just motifs. Motif.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be fabulous.
And the cool thing about it, they're in blues and browns and very different than the red. I'm really excited, and again, I'm honored that she asked me if I would be willing to stitch that, and so that'll be coming my way in the next couple of weeks. I don't have to have that one done for a year for the Bristol retreat, if you will, out at the attic in 2023. So
now the sampler that you're talking about that you will be stitching, who is it from?
Dutch Treat.
Dutch Treat. Okay,
Yeah.
Kathy and I have very different aesthetics and things that attract our eyes. Now, while I love and admire those samplers so much, there's few of them that actually give me the envies to want to stitch them, you know. But I have to tell you, when I went to Dutch Treat, because several of you viewers, thank you so much, were giving us hints
for
of who
that
you thought it was
feedback
from
of it, and I love knowing today who that was.
So I went to, and y'all had suggested another lady's name.
Yes.
Is what I was gonna say, or something. I don't remember what the name was, but
There was another one, but
it wasn't the lady, but she had some beautiful Merry Christmases and things. But when I went
Pat Rogers.
Pat Rogers. Well, I was so close, Ann
We're
Powell. It was two lady
I
names.
lied. It is Ann Powell. It is Ann Powell.
I want a star.
Molly's got one up on me.
I got a star. Anyway,
Ann Powell is the one
Ann
that has the
Powell
model.
has some
Home Sweet Home.
beautiful things.
Yeah.
Different look. But when I went to the Dutch Treat,
different look.
oh, I could have bought about 3 or 4 of those.
You gotta go to her site.
They were really pretty. Just pieces that
classic.
They didn't look hard either.
No. And I will say
like
that, well, besides the Merry Christmas that I love, but that 4th of July, the patriotic one, is absolutely stunning. I want to just tell you, so back in the day, I'm just going to carry on here because I have nothing else to show.
Okay.
So I went to, back in the day when I was young, my husband and my father-in-law would go bowling on Friday nights. Not that you all care about this, but I
But
need to tell
anyway.
you need to know the groundwork up here. I came home with it. My mother-in-law and I would go to Lee Ward's on Friday night. Lee Ward's in Milwaukee. I don't even know if they're still around.
I don't think so, but I remember Lee
Lee
Ward's.
Ward's.
Okay.
I came home with I bought a kit. And then I could already tell my liking was the kind of the Victorian look. It was these little gold plastic covered gold frame kit. There were 2 frames in the kit. Had a hunk of hardanger in there and some threads in the pattern. One of the patterns was a pine cone, and the other pattern was a lady up and a man up. 2 carolers. 2 carolers. I took that thing home. I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, there's no directions. I've never cross stitched before. I did crewel work, so I knew the needle, but I never did any cross stitch before. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, you got to count this stuff. But I liked it enough to make myself learn to do it. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of go to. If you like it enough, and I'm going back to the 5660, if you like that look enough, don't cut yourself short and not try it. Because if I didn't have somebody pushing me when I worked at the needlework shop, when I worked there, I remember Jane saying to me, why aren't you everyone should stitch on what they love. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this wrong. Everyone needs to go with what they love. But if I didn't have Jane pushing me, or Linda, the 2 gal, 3, and Kathy Rolfson that owned the shop, pushing me, said, you need to stitch on linen, I would never have stitched on linen. And so I think if you get out of your comfort zone a little bit, you can always go back to what you like.
I'm sitting here laughing because the way my mind is making myself feel comfortable with this. I moved from 14 to 18.
See?
18 is like 28, like what?
Now
36.
you're going to be down to 22.
36 is halfway to 56, so I'm almost there.
She's almost there. So I just, hats off to anyone that wants to give it a try, but don't, now that I've tried this one, and I just want everyone to give it a whirl. And if you need some encouragement, go talk to Jean out at the attic or give her a call. She'll boost your morale a little bit and get you fired up to do it. But again, good glasses, good light. And you should be taking care of your eyes anyway when you do this stuff.
And a good glass of wine. Okay, no. That's
no
right.
wine.
No wine, okay.
Because you'll be ripping, and that is not going to be fun.
I think that might have happened to my cat. I think that might have been the problem with my cat.
But there too, along with the Merry Christmas pattern, I have not a clue what happened to that pattern. And I'm sure I threw out or gave away and it would be fun really to find that again.
Who knows? But the Dutch tree.
Dutch tree.
Those, we come from 2 different aesthetic backgrounds, whatever.
We
have a lot in common too. But I'm just saying, that Dutch tree, those patterns were pretty.
Yeah. So there's a merge. I'm definitely more sampler orientated. We've got a look over here that Molly likes, which is probably more fun and upbeat and.
Yes, because I'm using it for decor.
Right.
In my mind, I'm trying to create some decor pieces.
And I don't know why I'm creating these.
The other thing is, and that's, I warned Kathy, I'm going to be showing y'all in a minute. I bought a piece of fabric. Kathy came and we did a little floss toss real quick to put some things to it. So as my daddy would say, I'm coming in from a bass-backwards kind of way. But now I have to find the sampler to stitch. I don't have the pattern, but I have the fabric and the thread.
Yeah, you bought the shoes first.
I bought the shoes and the jewelry first. I got to find the dress. Okay. But anyway,
anyway, that's enough of my rambling. But
there was a good story on the.
Yeah.
50s. Oh my gosh. Go look at Dutch tree.
And honestly, what are you out? If you buy a small piece of 5660, because these things are so small, 1 skein of thread, maybe one solid, color, just give it a whirl.
Those stitches are not even a 1/16 of an inch. I mean, I'd be surprised if they're a 32nd of an inch. They're tiny. They're just beautiful.
But it makes me want the book, and it makes me want to do more of them.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the few things I have left. We're not going to be keeping y'all long today.
No.
But again, glad to see y'all. Okay, let me show you the other things I'm doing. I'm going to start with the cheerier, happier ones first, and then we'll go to where I'm going to need everybody's help on something. So I need your help. Okay, one of the patterns that I bought and printed from online, from whoever, Axebe, A-X-E-B-E, is this trick or treat pattern. I don't know if I've showed you this before, but I thought, well, that's a fun, cute little pattern kind of thing. So I do, isn't it cute? So I've got my threads all pulled out and ready to go. And again, some floss drops that I just cut myself out of some old scrapbooking paper.
She didn't make me any of those floss drops.
Anyway. They're from Anna Griffin paper, and someone had asked about my covered boxes and things in the back. If I count them,
I saw that.
The answer is no. Those are from Anna Griffin. If y'all know anything, HSN, Anna Griffin. If you scrapbook or do card making, I love her stuff. Speaking of someone who loves Victorian treasures.
Decor,
yeah, decor,
treasures,
and
yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff. Anyway, so that's going to be a cute little stitch, I think, coming
Mhm.
up. I think it looks easy. I like the variegation and all. Okay, one of the next ones I've got pulled, ready to go. This is a pattern that I got from a Just Cross Stitch magazine, 2019, I think it was. I don't remember.
I like
the year
that kind
was.
of a cat.
Yeah, and I love this kind of a cat.
Yeah, I do
Now, I think I could be lying to you, but I think it's Luminous Arts has got the Who and the Boo, which is the owl and the cat, that have this same kind of retro look.
Yep.
They're darling.
Yep.
This was out of a magazine, and I like the.
You like the blue.
I love the blue.
So
I did tease Kathy. It called for certain blues or whatever. Well, that gave me permission to go online and order like every blue DMC had just about. Again, I've got my floss drops ready. There are the colors. Let me see if I can get them. Hold on, I'm dropping. And all. So it's gonna be bright, fun.
Yeah.
Halloween, but retro looking.
Yeah.
So, and I think
that's kind of like, reminds me of like the 50s, 60s.
That's what I'm thinking of, kind of kitschy.
Yeah.
Kitschy look.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm not going to be putting black lace on a towel bottom or something, but I am going to be trying to, again, frame that with a pretty little, I can see this real ornate looking black frame with a little gold and you know, maybe a little gold and teal, metal wax on it or something. In my mind.
Now's the time to be shopping for that stuff because everyone's loaded up on Halloween and Halloween and Thanksgiving.
I'm going to call these. I think it's Carol, the Saltbox Stitchers, because it's on her radar. You know, well, that's what these are on my radar. But I actually have them. Some I have kitted up with thread. Some I have kitted up with fabric, but not thread or something. But anyways, they're coming. Okay, this was a pattern I bought off the secondary.
Is that Rosewood? Yeah, Rosewood Manor.
Rosewood Manor off the secondary market.
Yeah.
And I love it. That particular piece looks a little optimistic for me or something. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for.
Little ambitious.
Ambitious. But on the back of the thing, look how cute.
Yeah, it's sweet.
That's sweet. So I printed it, have my threads ready. Gotta find my fabric. It's in this room. I mean, I have fabric, I think. If not, I'll dye fabric. But
don't say that. Everybody out there wants us to do.
I think, you know, just bear with us. We're gonna have to do one because I need some fabric. Anyway, but that's gonna be yummy, yummy. Now, what I did, it called for certain fabric. I mean, threads. What I did, if you look at this pattern, I mean, not pattern, but look at the picture. I just pulled from my stash and things I bought. These are DMC. They're variations threads. I think they call them. Aren't they pretty? Mm-hmm. I've got another one somewhere in the house. Mm-hmm. And then I had these in a stash, you know, just that I could collect it up.
Threadworks?
Threadworks.
Yeah.
And those of you who gave me the thumbs up on Threadworks that y'all liked working with them, boy, you're not kidding. They feel great. They stitch great. I had to iron them when I got them in because they were so curly cute. But other than that, I love them. And the colors are just delicious.
Let me see those ones.
Look at this one.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so in my mind, I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my touching on starting Quakers and motifs and things. Get myself
very nice
on the runway, so to speak.
Very nice. You got your fabric picked out for that one?
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Y'all know this guy, and those of you who keep showing patterns and pattern parades, 911 Stitcher, you know who you are. I had to buy about 6 patterns. Carol showed some things I had to buy. I mean, the Sweetwater Stitch had to buy. I mean, all these things. This one is from the Woolly U. Isn't that cute?
He's cute.
You know, I teased y'all about that little reindeer looking like
my husband. Your husband?
This is my husband's such a cut up.
Did he say he looked like that?
Well, it's that same little, hey, how you doing? You know, but anyway, so this is on my radar. Hopefully the threads came in today in that pile of threads that I got.
Okay. Is that, what kind of threads does this one call for?
I don't know, but I'm hoping I ordered. I got a pile of thread in, you know, like a pile. From the Woolly U as well. Probably, this is probably one of my favorite, which I love Jen Lawrence.
I do too.
I like Jen Lawrence too. This is probably, I love this pattern.
Which one is that? Pattern. Oh, the little cat.
I love it. I like, what do they call this edge? Like I'll hear something.
Penny?
It's a penny edge?
Rug or penny?
I don't know what that means.
I think it's a penny rug edge.
Okay.
In quilting.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but whenever somebody shows one that has that penny edge to it, or
like that
they
like that one.
Those usually suck me right in. But anyway, these are the only threads I have pulled so far.
So you're hoping the mailbox
I'm thinking in that pile is the rest of those. Okay, now we're getting down to it.
Get down to the nitty gritty.
Those of you who showed this one, yeah, I had to go get it. Now,
Brenda Gervais.
Several of these patterns were my first order from
Country Sampler.
Country Sampler.
Out in Spring Green.
Yeah, that's the store. I think I told y'all.
I'm going there.
I'm not going there. But anyway.
It's a long drive from El Paso, let me tell you.
But she's from that.
3 days.
She's from that neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah.
She's from that neck of the woods. Okay. Anyway.
So if there's anything you need me to get,
I'm gonna send you with a list. Let me tell you, I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna shop for you.
Okay.
I'll call you.
You can kit me up.
I'll call you.
Okay.
Yeah. I called you from the
You
attic.
gotta walk around that store and take a video.
I know. I should do a video.
You should do a video.
Then we can insert it because I'll be up there.
And I will be so jealous. Look at her. Kristen over there. Chris. Okay. Anyway.
I like that one.
I love it.
That's very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Like.
That's
okay.
cool.
I have that other.
Hey,
but I love this one.
I think I have a tin for that. If you need a tin, if you're going to put it in a tin.
There again, I got to just.
We might have tins. I mean, we've.
I've got that one.
I was
is
just
what I'm
going to
thinking.
say.
I've got that one. Is what I thought. I finally found something for it.
And
since my birthday. And look at this one. I love almost.
That was exclusive to the Country Sampler, I believe, for a while. I think Brenda had it on her site.
My mouse. I'm sitting there looking at my mouse hanging open. I'm in love with this one. I love this one.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a very popular.
And several of y'all have showed this one. I can't wait.
I have that one up there up north. It's already
in that stash.
It's already paid for and waiting for me to come and get it and do some additional shopping.
Okay, you better call me. I'm going to send you because there's a couple of other things she wanted. I wanted that she had. Okay, the only other things I have to show
I have two things that I need to talk about.
Okay.
I can do it after you.
These are the two things I have left. Does that matter to you?
No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's up to you.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm going to go. Okay.
I just have to remind myself. So if I tell all of you I have two things, I won't forget.
Y'all remember that I keep saying I'm new, but it's all, it's getting to be
Did you do you all where you lived before?
Y'all?
Y'all?
Of course we did. Y'all. That's where it came from.
I never did a y'all till I got down to El Paso.
It's not you all, it's y'all.
You know what else folks.
Folks.
Do you know that a teacher yelled at me for saying folks?
Why?
I don't know. She didn't like shut
Back in the day, they had a woke teacher. Okay.
I said, hey, folks,
we took our son, who's now a grown man, and his, to Washington State and Oregon and California on trips. Well, we went several years up to the Pacific Northwest. We never knew he was paying attention or liked it. He was a teenager. Who could tell? Well, that's where he ended up moving, But we used to always tease it with you guys. Oh,
yeah, we do, you guys.
And the Canadians up there who are the nicest people on the planet. But everything ends on an upbeat. Like, is that okay? Everything's
really?
I love that.
Oh, gosh, that's unique.
I loved it.
And where's that common at?
In Canada. A lot of them,
Canada?
they end their, I can't even do it. But they end their sentences on an upbeat sound, and it's you guys.
I can do the hey there. That's the Uper.
What the heck is
the
that?
UP. Up in the UP.
What's the
UP? Hey there.
Hey there. Okay, I don't know what that is. We have wandered down a path we don't want to go. Pam, if you're watching this, I have an old friend who goes, Molly, get off the train around.
We have people all over the world watching right now, so at the end of the day,
I don't sound hick enough without let's go farther. Anyway,
that was pretty good.
So back on track.
Back on track.
The only other thing I wanted to show you on a haul, but what I was heading to is I'm not new like, I'm getting to be 6 or 7 months old now at this stuff. So I'm feeling like, oh, well, I just know things. But I didn't even know there was a brand of thread called Color and Cotton.
I showed some Color and Cotton like 2 or 3, 4 times ago. It didn't stick.
It didn't stick.
She has to join the club. Color and Cotton has a wonderful floss club. I don't know if there's a waiting list or not.
Well, I think it was Helen D. who got me in trouble with charts earlier, and now she's got me in trouble with threads.
Well, she's payback because she bought a lot of stuff on Amazon.
Well, good. Well, Helen, I love your videos if you're watching.
So we were.
And I think it was you that held up the Color and Cotton, the 2 little packages. She must be part of a club.
Yeah, there's a club.
I almost broke my fingers trying to reach in the screen.
You can get yourself on a waiting list, Molly.
That's what she was saying.
The colors are beautiful.
But what had happened was I went on some of these patterns trying to find the over dye that the pattern calls for.
Everybody's out of it.
Everybody's out of them because these are popular patterns. Yeah. So then I thought, well, to heck with them. I'm just going to go and order me some Color and Cotton, oranges and yellows and
see what you
colors.
can do with them.
and they're beautiful.
Mhm.
And I like the
They're
feel of
very
them.
pretty.
And they're 8 yards instead of that little 5-yard business and all.
Mhm.
So that was my haul. Okay.
I have haul.
Oh, okay. Go
I
ahead.
have 2 hauls. 2 hauls from this. I didn't even know if these were. I love this Cluck Cluck Farm. Is that not adorable?
And that blue stripe is stitched.
It's stitched. So if you all remember the round wreath that I did, I showed that last time.
It was beautiful.
I did not stitch that red in there. That red was in the linen. And that linen, and actually I got a phone call from So and Save in Wisconsin. They're like, are you advertising some linen that we don't know what it is?
Oh, how funny.
So I said yes. I said you have a basket of linen up there that has the colors in it. She said they have it every color now. So they have linen that has the stripes. Sew and Save in Racine, Wisconsin, and you can stitch on it. I want to say it's probably like a 30, maybe it's a 35 count, 36 count linen, little bit closer, tighter knit, if you will, tighter woven. This would be cute on the blue one that they have. I know they have blue, but the wreath was done on the one that was red. It looks like a towel.
That I was gonna say because I think it was Back Quarter Shop showed. She did like she was showing the new fabrics coming in, and one of the fabrics she was showing, so I don't know when it's coming in, but it was towelings.
Yeah, it's like toweling, and it's beautiful. I think it's 18 inches wide.
And it's so pretty.
Some of them have the design on each side of that 18 inches or down the middle where there's a combination of
I think
linen. So you have Sew and Save Racine, Wisconsin. So that's Click Cluck.
Precious.
Yeah.
Precious.
And then I thought this was just adorable. This is by Not Forgotten Farm. A female arts in usefulness, the needle far exceeds the rest. I think what grabbed me on that was the doggone little strawberry pincushion that's attached to it. I think that's what really was like, oh yeah, okay, I have that. I think it's cute. And then I did want to tell you, I'm going to jump back to Jane here. There is some over one on this here in this cartouche, but Birgit is charting it to not do over one. So you can get it charted to do over one or not over one.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I have to really applaud her for.
She's really taken. If you want to stitch it on Ada, then you'd be able to stitch it on Ada cloth.
Those patterns that I have bought that show overdyed and DMC, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Just that extra step of giving us our choices without us having to look them on.
Well,
that's wonderful of her.
Not everyone is stitching on linen, and so therefore the Ada is nice. And then 2 people that I promised that I would talk. So I went crazy. And I bought some linen from Oxuda, and I told her that I would.
Oxuda.
La Patina.
It's Oksana.
Oksana La Patina. She's on stash unloading cross stitch only. That is where you can reach her. And I asked her specifically where you would like to be reached, and she said from that site.
Stash unloading.
Cross stitch only. Stash unloading cross stitch only. Her dye jobs are phenomenal. Facebook, phenomenal dyeing. Doesn't look tie dyed. Her colors are blended beautifully. So check that one out. The other one that I kind of had a little bit of fun with was, you all know what needle minders are.
And I just want to go back. So it's Stash Unloading, Cross Stitch Only on Facebook, Oksana Lupatina.
Yeah. Check it out.
And if you see something that comes up that says the Crazy Hamster, you found the right person.
Right.
Her label says Crazy Hamster.
And her fabric goes fast.
Kathy, I was actually in a meeting yesterday at one of the clubs here in town, and
I tagged Molly on
she tagged me. I opened my phone and it already said "me please," so I missed my shot.
It was
that quick.
You would have liked it.
I would have loved it.
I should have just me pleased it. And
I'm gonna email her or text her or whatever and say, "Is that a do over again?
Yeah.
Can we do that again?"
So,
but she did it on Ada.
Her fabric is very, very nice,
and she does.
Oh yeah, she's on Ada, Murano, linens, all over. Then the other gal that if you want to take a look, so we all have needle minders, and I will bring my needle minder trees because there's always a story. I'm like, what am I going to do with all these needle minders? I bet I have 100 of them, and they're all different. But what Molly and I think are on the same page as this. We like the ones with the glitz, the rhinestones, and Not so much the plastic, although they have their place, but
It's
we
an
like
old earring.
yeah,
but
we
it's a needle minder.
a little bling to it.
Uh-huh.
So what I did is I, from Hobby Lobby, found a metal tree, and then I found another metal tree. Well, then this last trip, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, I found another tree. Well, the 2 trees my husband put together for me, and so all these needle minders are like the leaves. And then I'm like, I'm running out of room. This tree happened to be on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I bought another tree, and my husband just attached that tree to that fence that we redid, the reclaimed wood that we've been working with, and so now I have a whole nother tree to put needle minders on. But Erica Sage, she is the admin and owner of the True North Needle Minders. Erica Sage, True North Needle Minders on Facebook.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you that she's a little cleaned out because she has some of those blitzy little things that she has sold in her sale for $3.
Oh my gosh.
And so she's a little wiped out, although I'm sure we'll have more. But if you check out her site to get an idea, it might not be available to you, but to get an idea of what she typically has, just look at her previous photos. But wonderful needle minders, and I'm waiting for a order to come. There's a cute, adorable little elephant that's on its way. And it just, it just makes our stitching fun to look at and drool over and it makes you kind of want more.
Can I take a picture of your trees?
Yes, I will. You know what? I will send you a picture.
Okay.
And we can put it in the beginning of it. Yeah.
I would love that.
Because to put the trees were actually a great idea to kind of get them out of the way.
So they're like fall-looking trees, not Christmas trees.
No.
They're fall-looking trees.
They're
trees. They're not Christmas trees.
They're tin, and I forget what they call it, corrugated tin.
Okay.
So they're magnetic.
Well, I want to see.
And one's a little wood one that then I just attached to it, but then I just hot glued the main magnet on. But then, of course, the other one being it's tin, you can just put it on there, and it looks really cute.
Oh my gosh.
I have a wall. I have a beautiful needle minder. We'll get a picture inserted in here.
Okay. I just have a couple more things.
I think that I covered it all then.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We didn't do your block, but that's
that's last.
Okay, that's what I'm going to wrap up on that.
We'll wrap up on my block.
She spoke of Oksana earlier, and again, her fabric fill fast. What I love is that she does colors from 14 count Adas to 18 count Adas to even weaves to linens.
All over.
Colors are pretty. Even her neutrals have I've ordered neutrals that said they were over dyed or even digitally printed neutrals. You can't see the modeling hardly at all on some of them, but hers are very pretty. Anyway. Enough about that. So what happened was I got mad because Kathy got a fabric I wanted, but it was a high count linen. And I wanted an Ada. No, can't do. But then immediately she had this fabric, which I think I showed y'all last time. It's got kind of a burgundy. I don't know if it's showing right pretty here, but it's like burgundies and rust, and I love it. It's very pretty. Well, my thought is, okay, now I have this fabric. Now what? So Kathy comes over one day. I pulled out my threads, told her where I thought I wanted to go with it. So we did a floss toss, if that's what you call it.
Threads are really pretty.
Oh my gosh! So I'm thinking I'm gonna love these. I call them blue blackbird colors because don't those look like
a little bit? Yeah.
Blackbird, So now my help. I need a sampler. It's not like just I don't know how to word it. I like Quaker. I'm not just an evenly spaced motif person. I like alphabets. But I don't want just alphabets. Anyway, I need a sampler that it will just scream on this fabric, and I'm saying sampler-ish or something. But I looked on Blackbird, I only had a couple of books from them. And yes, Brenda and Laura, buy all the I know, you're supposed to buy it all. But so what I did do, hoping there would be one in there, last but certainly not least, everybody probably already has this, I'm sorry. But, oh my gosh, Kathy, did you see what I got? Man.
Oh, I have that one.
I have that one. Okay, anyway.
File the Blackbirds. Did you find one in there?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. See this one on the back? Kathy, look up.
I'm trying to find you a pattern.
What about that one?
Oh, that's pretty.
So just imagine instead of these colors, if I convert that to the blues and the soft colors. But it's almost like that. See how those motifs are closer and all?
Yes.
The border is the only thing holding me back. I want a border.
What's wrong with the border?
Nothing. I want a border that's a little more, like with a little more, I don't know, something in the border. You know how you see borders with berries or flowers?
The border looks like it's one color.
Yeah. So,
Leaves,
and not that I couldn't change that, but you don't want to touch a blackbird. I mean, that'd be crazy. So anyway, so I like it. That's where I'm heading, but I want to get my hands wet and dirty in a sampler, but I don't want to be careful.
There is a pattern that I'm thinking of, and I want to say is it Cedar Creek? It's a girl.
I don't like people.
It's just her, like,
Silhouette. Yeah.
but her dress is all leaves. It's all individual leaves.
I don't like Adam and Eve. I can tell you, I don't like snakes. I don't like people in there. I don't know.
Probably not going to happen then.
I don't know. But now, one of the things I will tell you about this fabric, and this is why I'm thinking, not only am I going to commit to starting a sampler, I didn't say I was going to finish, but I'm committing to starting a sampler. I actually bought Monaco 28 count.
It's really pretty.
So the one even weave I tried to stitch on recently, I did tease Kathy. Every stitch I did disappeared, literally disappeared.
That's because it went underneath.
Because I was pulling too tight. You told me.
Yeah. When you're stitching over one, you've got to give yourself a little bit of.
I gave myself permission to set that aside and act like I hadn't started it.
Got to give yourself a little bit of leeway.
But this feels almost canvasy, so I think I'm going to be better off on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heavy-bodied fabric.
Are you going to go over 2 on this one?
Well, of course.
Yeah, you'll be fine on this then. It's really.
I just can't have it's just.
Look at that. You could eat that.
And
that's a really true representation of what it looks like.
So if I've got to get a hold of her and see if she does that other one that witchy woman, whoever she was, beat me to. Kathy sends me the note. I pick up my phone and I'd already missed it.
Yeah, because
it was that blue. It was beautiful.
To that.
I love grunge metal. If you know Tim Holtz and all that kind of stuff. So this just enough. I'm rambling. That was it for me.
Okay,
Kathy
so
has one thing.
Back to blocks. Isn't this cute? That's my Halloween one.
Thanksgiving.
That's my Thanksgiving one. So what I'm going to do here, for those of you that have asked about images, I have a huge collection of antique postcards that I've collected when my kids were in strollers, in diapers. So I have 40 years worth of pictures. And because everybody's liking is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. I did this one because I did one for every season is what I ended up doing. But I like decorating the tops. I think the tops were fun. I have the blocks for sale, but I'm going to let you all go and find your pictures. There's tons of them that are out there. As long as you're not selling or what have you, I don't know. You have to look at whatever the regulations are, what have you, as far as using a picture from the internet. But I don't have a good scanner, and my printer, I don't have a good printer. I don't have a printer.
So not the best one then, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to sell the blocks. I'm absolutely going to, if you're interested in a block, you just won't have the artwork. I will sell the block with the felt for the bottom, but there's plenty of images out there. People have got back to me and said, well, I haven't done my block yet because I'm actually not sure I'm going to use the Santas because I want to do one that's year round. Or I'm not quite sure if I want to do Santas, but I really, really like the snowman. We could be all over the map with images on this thing. And like I said, with the internet these days, that the amount of stuff that's out there, you would have no trouble finding images that you like that you could put on your block and resizing to the 2x2 or 1 3/4 on each side. If you need a wood block, I will have those for sale. You can reach me. You don't have to email Molly. You can reach me on a message through Instagram, Diary of a Sampler Lover. I am out there. We don't need to be friends on Instagram to do that. Just reach out to me and send me a message. I will get the message.
And I'll link that below.
Yeah.
Because it's Diary of a Sampler Lover with little underlines between each word. Yeah, it's
because it's the old Google blog.
Yeah, Diary of
and I just kept that name.
So I'll have that below.
Yeah. But I think with enough, most everyone is that creative to be able to go and find the images that they like. And like I said, I don't have a scanner to scan really well these pictures, and I can do them for me, but these are kind of light. They're okay for me, but are they going to be okay for you? I don't know, but I think you can find ones that you like just as well. So Other than that,
And then Kathy and I had teased last time about if you haven't been to Dollar Tree, about getting the trays and all that kind of stuff. So I went to Dollar Tree after Kathy did. Kathy came home with the tray,
yes,
which is darn
$3.
It was $3.
Yeah.
So then I went to Dollar Tree after that and bought more than the tray. You know, of course,
Yeah.
it was like they were just putting out some of the pretty new fall and Halloween things, so I was able to grab some and all. But our plans are I want to paint my tray. We're gonna do a little stuff up in it, and then, you know, share what we've done.
Are you talking about our box for the old
That-
Tannenbaum?
No, ma'am, I'm talking about
Your
a tray.
Okay, the
You
tray
had talked about doing your tray
for a
and,
Brenda Gervais design.
and I think it was strawberries and red
Yeah.
checks or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing mine in the fall patterns.
Yeah.
It's probably going to have a pillow sitting in it, but what I'm talking about doing is decorating
kind
the
of an
tray,
arrangement.
you know, putting some stuff there.
Yeah, and if you guys are looking to do blocks, I would encourage you to go find some of this stuff now, even if you're, you know, and put it away for when you do, like, so that if you do want to do a block for every season, you've got patriotic there, you've got the Halloween. There's tons of stuff out there to be decorating. I actually think that's even more fun than the block.
And I have to tell you, when you're there on the first day the Dollar Tree is putting out, this was the first for me, when you're on there the day that they're actually putting out the stuff at Dollar Tree for the season, I was amazed at the beautiful things they had.
Dollar Tree is good.
It
I was surprised.
beautiful. Do you see that pumpkin? I don't know if I can point that way. See that pumpkin back there?
Yeah.
That's a wooden pumpkin. It's made out of that pressed wood or something. It was $5. It slips together. Of course, it comes uncovered. I just covered it with some scrapbook paper from Stampin' Up. You know, I still Stampin' Up, so it's like I had Stampin' Up paper and all. But even the little sign next to it on the little breadboard kind of, you know, looking thing, that's from Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree is really up their game on.
Next to it, the other way here, next to it, that yellow thing, you see the lid sideways and the big flower arrangement. That was actually a bread box I bought for 80% off from Michael, so it came down to like $5, that big metal bread box. But the sign that I just slapped on the front, because I don't have anything cross-stitched yet, was from Dollar Tree. So they've got some really pretty things. So,
and even if you don't like the design that's on there, to cross-stitch a piece to fit over it.
Well, that's what, all kidding aside, a lot of those things, like I bought some little houses from them that were $1.25 each. Well, the house, let's say on this side it says gather, but on the back it could be a little pumpkin face or haunted house or something. So, you know, I really enjoyed that trip to Dollar Tree.
Yeah, Dollar Tree's good.
Yeah. And
Dollar Tree's good.
It was fun, so we got to go. But the other thing is, several of y'all, I want to thank y'all so much again for all the sweet comments.
Oh, yeah.
And those of you who were worried about me last time, I get it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
I can tip her over.
Yeah, I can move back and forth. You know, it's
she
fun
didn't tip
getting older.
over.
But I have sinus issues occasionally, and then I'm blessed with a little arthritis in this joint. Isn't that wonderful? So when it swells up, I get a little case of vertigo. And when I say a little case of vertigo, it's like for 3 days I couldn't move without.
It was bad.
Rough. So Kathy and I got through the filming. The minute I pushed her out and closed the door behind her, I had to hold onto the wall to get back to bed. I mean, it was like, I don't like vertigo.
She said, but
I don't like vertigo. That's that's for old people or something. I don't mean that. But it was temporary.
To thank the Flosstubers that have shouted out about us and some of the things we've showed, and 2 needles pulling thread. I wish Kathy all the best in the world. I know that she is going through some things here right now.
She's cost me a fortune too.
Yeah,
when she shows stuff, I always love it.
So Kathy, all the best to you, and then of course Tiny House Stitcher with the loss of her sister.
Yeah, Tiny House.
Thinking of them, and can't thank Brenda and Laura enough for acknowledging us. And one that I really enjoyed watching, and I'm so glad that I found her, was Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch.
Oh, I love her.
So fun to watch. And she just got married, I don't know, 4 weeks ago. Ended up with COVID. COVID. It's a story. You should go watch her YouTubes. But
and you know who I watched their video last night? Is it who? It's a mama and 2 daughters, and they have a cross stitch company. Is it Plum Street or?
It's not Plum Street.
It's not Plum Street Samplers. Okay.
No.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna.
Paulette. Paulette does once in a while have. I don't know that she even has a.
Is it something with Word Cottage? God, I've stitched some of their patterns and I love them. But the mama is going to be I'll put information below about this.
We'll have to add that one.
They have a company. Y'all all know who they are. They do beautiful things.
And you bought from the
Oh
the
yeah,
company?
I've done some of their patterns, but one of the things they do. I cannot believe I can't remember who it is. Help me. Um, they sell fabric. They just moved into a new warehouse, and she does these little collections of fabrics that would be perfect for finishings,
Oh,
cross stitch things and
nice.
all. So she's got these bundles. But the mama is going to be doing a stitch along. I got to join that.
You know, we have had a
I'm
lot of
gonna-
people reach out to us about doing something here in Texas.
Oh, and you know, when we say we're in Texas, I'm telling you, we were as far out of we were the last stop before you get out of Texas. Yeah.
So a lot of people have commented about that. Hey, and there are quite a few stitchers here in El Paso.
Oh, hey, Michelle.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
So who knows? You never know down the road what might.
And then
transpire,
I'm saying hello to Michelle. She's a fellow stitcher here in El Paso, and she tells me there's a little group of us here in town. I didn't know
think we
about.
might go visit it tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow. It's
the following Saturday.
Following
oh yeah,
Saturday.
a week from Saturday.
But she told me about a retreat or cross stitch thing coming up. I got to go to that's in Albuquerque. Well, that's I think 4 hours from us, so that's doable. Kathy's going to be like not
country sampler.
Yeah, she'll be at the country sampler, whatever. Okay, anyway, we're rambling on, but that was my only little. Just telling y'all, thank you for the
yes,
well
the comments we love. We try to get to all of them. And a little heart there, and sometimes a comment in return. Don't forget to like us, subscribe, and share. My goal is 10,000 by the end of the year.
Oh, there you go. I cannot believe I cannot remember the name. Is it? It's something cottage. Is it something? God, I'm crazy. Sorry about that.
It's the vertical still.
No, it's the age-ish. It's too many things.
Well,
too
I
many
threw
files
my
open.
patterns away when I was.
But I'll link it below. But it's 2 daughters and the mother, and they.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I.
Gosh, but what I was tickled about is the mother's going to be doing a stitch along, and sometimes like Kathy didn't come over as often as she could, kind of thing. So I'm stitching by myself here, watching these floss tubes. I said I'm going to join that stitch along just so I can,
so you can
stitch with that mom.
somebody.
She looked like a. I'd like to
Does she sit in the middle?
No, she stands off the edge. Got short, whitish, cute little hair and all that stuff. But I think I want to stitch along with her. Like I say, I'd like to know her. She's sweet, But anyway, okay. It's not. What is it?
That's gonna drive you.
It's gonna drive me. I'm gonna look it up right after we get off this thing.
She'll be on the
Okay. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah. Thanks
Fast
for
and sweet today.
yeah. Thanks for letting us come in your home and chat a little bit about things we love.
And please do, those of you who have subscribed, thank y'all so much. That just means the world to us. And if you can share that video, tell others about it.
Yeah, and I'll be pulling the black one.
No.
We said up until the 15th, so I've got to pull the black winner.
Oh, we should have done that today.
Well, yeah. If they comment
Hold
black.
on. Hold that thought. Okay, welcome back. We just had to clear up some, we had to consult our, legal team here or something. But what Kathy reminded me is you have until the 15th, which is, we're recording on the 12th. This will be up by the 14th.
Right.
So if you're watching this, make sure you comment. The magic word is block. If you'd like to win one of the Santa blocks that she did.
It's the kit.
The
empty block with the hole, the felt, and then the 4 photos.
Okay.
So, but if you want to purchase one of just the block,
reach her. And if you need to email me to reach Kathy, because she doesn't,
share have my email out
she
there.
Wants to be alone, her private stuff. But you can reach her on the Instagram. But if you need to email me, my email will be below, and I can let her know. We were just laughing one day. I was having to send her emails. Number 2, number 5, number 7, number 9. So she could keep track of the emails I was sending.
And I have gotten back to everybody.
Yeah.
That you've reached out to send. So, but yeah, if you can reach me on a message, that's.
But if you're on Instagram, reach her that way. If you're not on Instagram, then of course you can reach me, and I'll throw a rock through her window and get it to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okie doke.
All right.
Pleasure seeing y'all.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks again.
Bye.